Today, Attorney General Bonta, Attorney General Dana Nessel, and I are co-leading a coalition of our fellow Democratic attorneys general in suing this administration to protect SNAP and the sensitive personal information of all of its recipients. The federal government's demand that states turn over SNAP recipients' data is flat out illegal. In fact, our laws prohibit us from disclosing this SNAP data unless it is strictly necessary for administering the program. And in this case, it is not. This latest action from this administration is nothing more than an attempt to sow fear and to cause chaos amongst vulnerable populations. And we are suing to uphold the rule of law, to protect the sensitive personal information of everyone who receive SNAP benefits, and ensure that this administration does not use critical and necessary food assistance to target immigrant communities. I too want to thank my team.
Key words there. Immigrants.
Yeah, they always say the same thing. Stoke fear, You want illegal immigrants to receive benefits that American people get.
Yeah, that's a little far.
I think that's a little extreme. At what point are the Democrats going to call out these people for standing up for illegals more than they stand up for them? Because let's put it like this. If illegals were never receiving SNAP and Trump put in that now people have to work, which what he did to receive SNAP, do you think they would be going this hard? No.
Yeah.
Because they didn't lose SNAP. They just have to work. And illegals are receiving it for free.
I guess if you're working, they are working, but are they legally working?
That's why this is a banger tweet, because they're always saying, we always hear Hakeem Jeffries say, no, illegals aren't on SNAP benefits. When literally right here, she just said it.
Yeah, she did.
So which one is it?
Yeah, that's true. They definitely are.
But hey,
taxpayer dollars.
This clip right here, it all makes sense.
There are consequences to fighting and taking away people's health care. There are consequences to voting against a living wage. There are consequences to ripping up law-abiding, dutiful, undocumented people from their country. There are consequences.
Really?
There are consequences for fighting against LGBT rights. There are consequences for taking away our right to choose.
When really they mean Medicaid and illegals are hand in hand. That's what they mean.
I just don't understand why everyone's going so hard for the illegals. Like, I understand they're people and whoop, but they're not citizens.
Bro,
they
the
didn't
chairs,
vote.
they're going to lose votes. That's where their votes are.
But you have to realize those people didn't vote to put them in these seats. American citizens did.
Actually, in some cases, they're saying that they are.
I guess you're right. Yeah. I
the
guess you're right.
only state she won.
And this is why Jasmine is afraid right now.
Did y'all see in Minnesota the Secretary of State said we're not giving the Trump admin DOJ our voter records, so we're not doing
voter records. We're not gonna give the president voter records.
They said, nah, we ain't doing it. We're not giving it up.
But they scream bipartisanship.
That doesn't even.
There's no bipartisanship.
We're not gonna tell the president's administration our voter results. What?
This is why Jasmine is afraid, y'all. She's going to have to go out and be a real lawyer. Because you see my boy Sheldon under here. Shout out my boy Sheldon. He said, yeah, this shit got to end.
They're talking about they're starting to cheat. They've been cheating. Right now, we should be in power. We should be the ones that are controlling the House. The only thing that they know how to do...
Sounds like Trump. Are you not accepting the results of an election?
That's what I was going to say, bro. They just are a party of contradiction.
It's crazy because they're mad at Republicans for trying to redistrict, but then they're advocating for their side to redistrict. So it's cool when y'all do it, but it's a problem when like, come on now, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm lost at how you're gonna be mad at them for what y'all trying to do.
We should be the ones that are controlling the House. The only thing that they know how to do is be crooked, draw crooked lines, and tell crooked lies. So I am here to tell you that if you think that you can just roll over the Democrats, it is a new day. And I am looking forward to making sure that we can respond in kind if they want to play, because we already know that our lines are already jacked up. I already gave you the numbers. You can play with them more if you want to, but just know I'm going to spend every waking day until now, between now and November, to make sure that not only these new seats that you try to draw, if that's what you try to do, that we win those seats, but maybe it's time for us to take some other seats that are sitting up here right now, because they're not doing their jobs anyway. They're talking about...
And you are in your district.
You see, she showed her hand right there at the end. It's about seats. Yes. It's all about seats.
Well,
Yes.
they know when Republicans redistrict, they're gonna lose seats.
Because they're going to make it more fair.
Because people don't want to vote for this shit. They putting it. They drawing the line of. Oh yeah, these black folks. They finna vote all Democrat. Come on, man.
Why should the zone? Who made the zones?
She is scared, bro, because she's gonna lose her spot, where she's zoned at in Texas, and she's gonna have to be a lawyer again. Like my boy Sheldon said,
She wasn't a good lawyer.
Yeah, he said she was a terrible lawyer. She ain't had that many cases. She ain't win that much money. She went right into politics. This is where she getting her money at, guys. I know she's scared. Look at Buddy in the back. They all scared. They scared, bro.
And if they gerrymander, can you talk on that? Thank you.
Yeah, so first of all, it hasn't quite been said clearly that Texas has always been found to be intentionally discriminatory. And so I want y'all to understand the makeup of my state. The state is a majority minority state. And what this legislature historically has done is what they plan to do again, is to dilute the voices of people of color in order to make sure that they can get to where they're trying to go. We saw this Department of Justice decided to put out a letter, and what did they do? We only have 4 seats that are represented by black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say we are going to dilute minority voices.
Yeah, bullshit. Maybe y'all just aren't getting anything done, man. Maybe that's what it is.
No, I think they should redo the districts, though, because who made them in the first place, and why is everyone in one demographic in the same district? Wouldn't that be racism?
Yes, that's literally what they're doing.
They usually redistrict all the time.
So
It's
why
not
is
like
it a
it's an
problem?
uncommon
That's what I'm
practice.
saying.
It's a problem because they're gonna lose the little power they have.
Because nobody's gonna really vote for this shit. They say, "Yup, black woman, like you're not even earning your vote, man."
She's not even from Texas. How the
Black-
hell she won in the first place? It's crazy. The reason she won is because she's black.
Yeah, the black people, they see you black and they gonna vote.
She won one of the top 10 most black cities in Texas.
And ain't did shit for it.
Nothing
Just
for
like
it.
AOC. Maybe that's the problem. All right, enough of that racket and hooligan-ness. Let's get into some W's, guys. Oh, Bill Maher admitted that the tariffs, he was wrong about the tariffs.
That's on X.
Now, I remember along with probably most people, were saying at the beginning, by the
Is that
4th of
Brian?
July,
Brian
somebody
Tyler.
had to think how the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me, but that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not
That's
from I
funny.
just hate Donald Trump. Because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look, the stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to
That's respectable.
fucking sink this economy by this time. And
Bill Maher will admit whenever, this is
my
not the first
God.
time he's done this. He'll admit other points, He tries to be a fair leftist as much as he can. He's more of an old school Democrat. He's not super woke, but
He's already said that before. That he's an old school Democrat.
facts.
You know what's interesting? When we first started reacting to Bill Maher, I thought he was a dick. But now actually he's kind of growing on me.
No,
you know?
yeah, I actually
Because
like him a little bit.
He makes sensible points. Like he can admit when he's wrong. He can criticize his own side while making shots at the other side. Like he's one of the few people who will admit what the Democrats are doing wrong. And I respect him for that.
Me too.
I can respect his opinion because he's not super biased.
not super radical.
Yeah, that's what it is. Not radical.
Yeah, maybe we should react to that because I want to see what Brian's
Brian's
response
gonna
to
say,
that.
well, no.
Well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon. Man,
It's
I
gonna
have to see
take
that.
tomorrow.
Mr. President, you just talked about setting up food centres in conjunction with other organisations.
Right.
You're talking about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation or recognised aid agencies. How will this work?
Well, it's going to be working with the United States. We'll be
helping with the food. You know, we have a lot of access to food. We got a lot of food ourselves, and we're going to bring it over there. We're also going to make sure that they don't have barriers stopping people. You know, you've seen the areas where they actually have food, and the people are screaming for the food, and they're 35, 40 yards away, and they won't let them because they have lines that are set up. And whether they're set up by Hamas or whoever, but they're very strict lines, so we have to get rid of those lines. But we're going to be getting some good, strong food. We can save a lot of people. I mean, some of those kids that's real starvation stuff. I see it. And you can't fake that. So we're going to be even more involved. We did some airlifts before, some airdrops, and the people are running for it. And the Prime Minister is going to help us. They're very effective with that. You've done that before, and for many, they've done that for 100 years very well. So it's not very hard to do.
Hey man, what other country would do that? We're the worst country. We oppressed. We hate brown people and this and that. But we're going out of our way to go help them over there we know how
the liberals feel, the protesters.
We know how a lot of people feel about Israel and America. Then Israel's, they're not really liking them over there, and we're going over there and helping them anyways. But we hate brown people. We hate them.
That's humane. That's very humane. Man, I just can't get over that Bill Maher shit. That shit's so funny, bro. They really thought we was gonna be walking around. What? Like we were just finna really be in
the Great Depression.
Yeah, like it was finna get
the
crazy.
Dust Bowl.
Like it was finna be gray outside every day.
Donald Trump telling reporters a humanitarian crisis in Gaza is, quote, one of the main reasons for his meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The two are meeting in this moment. He also was asked about comments from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The Prime Minister saying there is no starvation in Gaza. Here's exactly what he said yesterday. Take a listen.
Israel is presented as though we are applying a campaign of starvation in Gaza. What a bold-faced lie. There is no policy of starvation in Gaza, and there is no starvation in Gaza.
So the president moments ago was asked whether he agreed with those claims from Netanyahu.
Based on television, I would say not particularly, because those children look very hungry, but we're giving a lot of money and a lot of food, and other nations are now stepping up. I know that this nation is right.
It's
here.
a humanitarian crisis.
Right.
It's an absolute catastrophe, and nobody wants to see that. And I think people in Britain are revolted at seeing what they're seeing on their screen.
And what the world saw were pictures of starving children.
Yeah.
This was too much, even for some of Israel's closest allies, both in Europe and the United States as well. I'm sure there was pressure from Washington being put on Jerusalem. And in fact, there's reports that the Israeli embassy here in Washington realized that a diplomatic catastrophe was happening. But the bottom line is that this was a deliberate Israeli policy of starvation, something, first of all, the U.S. would never do.
Yeah.
And two things. One is the immorality of that, but number two is it didn't work. The war is not over. The hostages have not returned, and we're still at this impasse. And whether you blame Hamas for this or the Israeli government, the bottom line is people are starving in Gaza, and the world finally actually said, no.
Well, that's a W, man. And, Israel's our ally. We ride behind Israel, so.
Yeah. Hey, if it's enough problem that Trump will call it out, I trust Trump over anybody. I would never listen to any foreign leader over Trump. That's our commander-in-chief.
Just so I have this clear, are you suggesting the United States cease military aid or the sale of weapons to Israel so long as this starvation in Gaza continues?
Well, what I was referring to right now, John, was the fact that we're spending money to create this alternative private organization backed by mercenaries that has created these deaths. I do believe that we should pause offensive military assistance to the Netanyahu government, so long as the Netanyahu government is engaged in what is clearly a strategy to use food as a weapon of war and to try to use it for population control. We've heard members of the Netanyahu coalition just in the last couple days talk about essentially taking over Gaza, pushing the Palestinians out of Gaza.
Yeah, Abrego.
Yeah, what, man? I hope you lose your seat, bro.
I gotta keep it 100 though. If they really starving people, I'm glad that our supreme leader is
they gotta handle that,
handling that instead of letting that go on, because that's not okay.
That's what America do, man.
Hold it.
We can all sense your frustration with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Do you think he's been lying to you about his intentions in Ukraine?
Well, I don't want to use the word lying. All I know is we'd have a good talk, And it seemed on, let's say, 3 occasions, it seemed that we were going to have a ceasefire and maybe peace, and you divide it up and you do whatever you have to do, that obviously to get to the end. And all of a sudden, missiles are flying into Kiev and other places. And I say, what's that all about? I spoke to him 3-4 hours ago, and it looked like we were on our way. And then I'd say, forget it, and I'm not going to talk anymore. You know, this has happened on too many occasions, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Earlier you said that you were going to change the deadline from 50 days.
Yeah,
What is your new deadline?
I'm going to make a new deadline of about 10 or 12 days from today. There's no reason in waiting. There's no reason in waiting. It's 50 days. I want to be generous, but we just don't see any progress being made.
Man, if he stopped the Russia war, man.
He's got a lot of stuff to deal with every day.
He does, bro. I don't know if I could do this job, bro. I don't think I could.
Tough job. Probably one of the toughest jobs there is. Probably the toughest job there is.
Yeah, it has to be.
Got a lot of things to worry about. And a lot of lives at stake.
The president has shifted on Vladimir Putin. The president has received criticism on foreign policy in general, but what do voters seem to say?
Yeah, this one was a surprising one to me, given everything that's going on in Russia, what happened in Iran, what happened in Gaza. But the bottom line is Democrats in the American voters' minds cannot hack it. What are we talking about? Party trust more in foreign policy. Well, the GOP holds an average 6-point lead in the month of July. Look at this. Fox News came out last week. Plus 3 points for Republicans on foreign policy over the Democrats. You think that number is not high enough for you? How about the Wall Street Journal? GOP plus 8 points when they match congressional Democrats up against congressional Republicans. The bottom line is this. Despite everything that's going on in the world right now, Republicans are more trusted on Democrats when it comes to foreign policy and the world.
Every time I see that guy, his stats always are in favor of the Republicans.
No, facts.
It's like, dang.
Facts. He's just a reporter of the truth.
Well, if you look I just look at the numbers. Well, the numbers say that the Republicans are the best party.
Hey, man, men lie, women lie, people lie. Numbers don't lie.
Never.
Wow, so we got 0 tariffs with the EU. An additional $600 billion in U.S. investments.
$750 billion U.S. energy purchase.
Cha-ching!
And they buying U.S. military equipment. Dang,
Business booming.
That's a
trap booming.
They forgot about the Iron Dome being built as we speak. People forget about that, man. And Trump doing a lot,
with
bro.
the egg prices,
Trump
gas
getting
prices.
It paid for. We ain't finna pay a dime at this rate. Tariffs and they dropping big. That
birds chirping.
$1.35 trillion.
And we got no tax on tips for some people. She getting crazy.
Gas
and
low.
No tax on overtime.
She getting crazy, y'all. Let's know what y'all think of the comments.
OKC Thunder, the champions.